Hey y'all, it's Tracy with Mama's Comfort Cooking, and today we're gonna cook a rabbit and hash. Let's get started. Yes, I said it right. We're gonna do rabbit hash today. Complimentaries to my brother Charles Lamar knows our Hunter and our family. So let's get started, and I can show you the rabbit and what we're gonna be working with. Let me turn it down. Come on in. So we have our rabbit. My brother cleaned it for me. He cut it up into parts. You can see the leg and the thigh. I've put some salt and pepper on here. Okay, and you can see the little tiny wings. And rabbit have a lot of bones. He even kept the breast and he kept the back for me. Y'all know that back is some good with the neck. And we're getting ready to go in. All right, he already cut it up. So I have my cast iron skillet going. This is going to be an Instapot demonstration. So my brother said, have at it, season it the way I want. So I've got a combination of seasonings that I've mixed up. I put salt and pepper already in my flour. Turn it over so we can get both sides of it seasoned real good. And our goal is to not lose the taste of the rabbit, but to cook a little bit of the wild out of there. Is that all right? And I've put some chicken stock in my Instapot. So this is how I'm going to get it started. We're going to sear it. We're going to fry it a little bit. Then we're going to put it in the Instapot for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. That's where we're going to start. If it's not tender enough, I add more time. But that's the time that I'm going with. So let's get started. So we're going to begin by taking our rabbit, flouring it real good, and dropping it in the skillet. Okay. I'm going to turn you over so you can see it in this skillet versus watching me flour. So let me get you over here. There we go. This is the way we're going to start it off. By just searing those seasonings in. You notice I don't have a whole lot of grease in there because I'm not deep frying it. Okay. Do those pieces first. Wash my hands. I am going to add some onions into the Instapot. It's already on warm. Waiting on this rabbit. I'm going to add a little onion in there. Because I'm going to use the broth and make a light gravy. Not going to be dark. It's just going to be the base that the rabbit is. So this is the beginning step of us frying our rabbit and making rabbit hash. Look at that. It's cooking nicely. And I don't have the grease on super high because I wanted to sear it in. And when I get through, I'm going to keep all this goodness that's in the bottom, which is flour, to help me make my real light pale gravy. It's going to be very light. So this is what we're doing. And then we're going to put it in the Instapot. We're going to set it. So I'm not going to make you wait on me to brown everything. I'm going to be back. And when I get back, We're going to the next step. See you in a few. So we browned all the rabbit. This is the last step. We browned it real good. Seared all that goodness in there. All those seasonings are in that rabbit. Okay. I'm going to put it in the Instapot. We got all those good old flavors in this rabbit. Now we're going to make it tender. Fall off the bone. And all this goodness that you see remains is what I'm going to use to make the gravy for the hash. So over here in the Instapot, I got one more piece. I already put my liquids in. Now all I have to do is get my lid, set it. And since I'm not sure how long this rabbit will cook, I'm going to start it off. Instead of 45 minutes, I'm going to do 30 minutes. Okay? When you hear that pressure go, turn your lid. I'm going to hit pressure cook. And I'm going to do my time. And I'm going to start off 30 minutes. If I need longer time, then I'll do longer time. But we're going to see. It takes a little minute. Now that's what they need to fix. We ought to be able to just type our time in, but we have to go through this. So once you get it to where you want it, 30 minutes, just leave it alone and it will set itself. You will hear a beep, okay? Okay? And it's gonna start in just a few seconds. There we have it. So when we come back, we'll go to the next step. Let's start working on the gravy. We have the rabbit set. We have everything going good. We're going to use some of the base of the rabbit broth. So what we're going to do is just add some of the flour. You know, I normally use anywhere from 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup of flour. Okay, I want to get all this goodness. I'm going to brown it a little bit. Let it cook off just a little bit. Someone gave me this whisk and I appreciate it. I just don't remember who gave it to me. But we're going to make this gravy. And I'm going to use some chicken bouillon. And this is going to be about a tablespoon of it. Chicken bouillon. Okay. Alright. Let's keep whispering. And with gravy, you can let it taste like anything you really want it to taste like. If you wanted to add sage, because this is wild meat, and sage pairs really good with wild meat. But remember, I don't want this gravy really dark. So until my rabbit is done, I'm just going to use a little water in here to start loosening it up. Because I still want to use some of the broth from the rabbit itself. So this is what we're going to do. And then we'll go to the next step once we get some of the broth off of the rabbit. We're just going to loosen it up. But we're going to make it even thinner. And we've already started our base. And then we're going to add the broth from the rabbit. And it's going to pull so much flavor. So, again, I'll see you shortly. Let's start making our hash. So I'm going to use a half a stick of butter. Not margarine, but butter. Land O'Lakes or Challenge. I think today's is Challenge. I'm going to use 1 cup of canola. And then we're going to use sweet potatoes and white potatoes. So what we're going to do is get started. I've diced up sweet potatoes. And remember, if you want your potatoes to stay looking great with no brown, when you cut them up, make sure you put them in water. Same thing with your white potatoes, okay? I'm going to add the white potatoes. We're going to add our onions. We're going to add salt and pepper. Plenty of pepper. You want that pepper to pop through. Not so much salt, but plenty pepper. Okay? So when we come back, we're going to see how this is going to work. We're going to cut, this is a little basil, and we're going to cut some of the rabbit in here, pour the gravy over it. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to see y'all back in just a little bit. Make sure you get it good, you stir it good, you move it around, but not too much. I'm going to put a top on it, and that's what we're cooking. This is the beginning of the hash. And I did use butter with the oil because the butter causes the sweet potato to cook faster. And it doesn't quite cook as fast as a white potato sometimes. So the butter causes it to cook equally. See y'all back in a few seconds. Y'all, it's time. The rabbit is done. And let's put it all together. It took 45 minutes in the Instapot. Your rabbit is finished. There it is in the Instapot. I let it cool off. This is the outcome of your rabbit. Every piece of it. It's so tender, fall off the bone, and delicious. Let's get started putting it together, shall we? So over here, our sweet potato, white potato hash turned out just like I wanted it. I've made the gravy. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this gravy, this rabbit gravy. I use the broth off the rabbit. That's why there's no more broth inside. I'm going to place this rabbit inside of the gravy. I'm going to place it inside of this delicious gravy. And I'm going to get all that goodness out. The rest of that goodness. I'm going to work it in this gravy. I'm going to flip it a few times. And then I'm going to place it on top of the hash. And I'll put a little gravy on top of the hash. Now, if you were just eating it like this, you could let it simmer. Let me wipe that up. You could let it simmer for as long as you want it to. You can eat it with rice, mashed potatoes. Rabbit is delicious. It's not gamey. It's tender like chicken. And it's so delicious. All right. So what we're going to do now is place it on top of our hash. All right. So let's do that. Okay, here we go. Delicious rabbit. Just place it. You can serve it all on one dish. Take your small pieces. That's a tiny wing. There we have it. There we have it. Pour you some more gravy over there, just like that. Delicious. You talking about good. And this rabbit gravy is delicious. Well, that's it. That's it, and that's that. There you have it. We're moving. Rabbit hash and gravy. Don't that look good? Thank y'all for watching Mama's Comfort Cooking. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your family. And enjoy your food. Good. This is rabbit hash. Look at that rabbit. My. Sure look good tonight.